Okay. All right. Last week, our project, we were to create a self-portrait, okay? Which means it was a picture of you. And the main thing that I wanted to get from this picture was something interesting about you. So you could choose what it was that you wanted me to know, but you had to show that in your picture. And there were several ways that you could do this. You could show me through family, if you wanted to do a family portrait and show me the different members and people that might live at your house. You could show me about pets, you know. Maybe you have, regular cats and dogs, or maybe you have some very interesting, strange pets, okay? Or maybe you live on a farm and you're dealing with farm animals all the time. Also, okay, let's raise our hand next time. Okay. Some other things that you could do were show me about your hobbies, whether it was reading or singing or sports or anything really. And your favorite places, favorite foods, favorite colors. So you had to decide how you were going to go about that. And we drew with a pencil first and then colored with either crayons or color pencils. I think most of you are on the coloring step. And when you get your papers back today, you will continue coloring. Yes. What? What? Oh, you got a new sister? Awesome. I'll take a look at it in just a second, okay? All right. What you're going to do today is you're going to add a frame to your picture as soon as you're done coloring, okay? I want you to color all the main parts of your picture, but you're going to add a frame to it just like we would inside of our house or they would in an art museum. If you look over along the shelf by the window, I've got a bunch of different colors of construction paper, all the colors of the rainbow plus some extra ones. When you're ready, you will go pick out whatever color you want, just one sheet, okay? Now, I'm going to explain. So you've got your sheet like this. When we cut, we want to cut some strips out, okay? This isn't big enough to glue on. I ran some copies of my portrait so I could demonstrate this multiple times. If I place this on here, which is what some students have wanted to do, it doesn't leave much of a frame around it. It's kind of barely there. So we're going to cut some pieces. Please keep the stool still, hon. We're going to cut some pieces to place around the outside edge. That way we get much wider pieces and we can do some interesting stuff to them. So when you are ready and you've picked out your sheet, I want you to turn your page long ways, okay? And you'll get your scissors. And then I want you to cut strips. And when you do this, I want you to cut long ways, okay? Because we know that it's big enough to cover the four sides. If you cut strips the short way, that isn't going to cover the long side, okay? So hold this up so y'all can see it. So I'm going to cut right down the middle to start with. And it may not be perfect, but that is okay. And then I've got these two pieces. I'm going to cut down the middle on those as well. That one's a little off, but no big deal. I don't care if they are a little lopsided because I'm going to trim them up in a minute. So now I have four pieces. I know that they're big enough to fit. If any of the areas end up being too long, I can trim them off, okay? So now I'm going to use my glue. Your glue should always be standing up in the bin. If they tilt over and someone leaves them open, they tend to squeeze out and fill them up. In order to open the glue, you turn the orange part, okay? Never turn this big area or you end up taking the whole lid off, okay? And we've already used them in several classes, but if you come across one and you it's open and that glue won't come out, bring it to me. It probably just has a little dried blob in there that I need to get out, okay? So the way I want you to do your picture is I want you to put the glue on your picture and then stick your paper to it. Don't put the glue on this first, okay? It makes it harder to tell exactly where it needs to go, and a lot of times students end up putting these pieces on. They don't line it up, and then they've got all this glue on here that just ends up sticking to the table, okay? And you end up with a big old mess. So I'm going to glue the two long sides first. So I'm going to put a skinny line near the edge. You do not want to overdo it with the glue, or when you place the construction paper on there, it'll start squeezing out everywhere. Now, I don't want to cover up all of my pictures, so I'm going to just do it like right here. So it is sticking off, and then I'll have a lot of extra paper to work with. And I'm going to get my other piece. And then now I'm going to do the short sides. That way I can go across these pieces right here. Move this down. Okay. I'll have to get that in a minute. Would you get there? I'm sorry. Okay, so now I've got all 4 of my pieces glued on. You can see this is quite a big frame. If you like it like that, then that is fine and you can leave it like that. But I want to trim it down, okay? So I'm going to get my scissors. I can do this any way I want. You see right here, I did more wavy. If I want, I can do it kind of a zigzag or something like that. I'm just going to kind of free cut. If it makes you nervous to just start cutting, then you can always draw out your lines first. But I just cut. And you know what? If it doesn't turn out just perfect, then that is okay.
It's not like this is like your whole life.
Exactly. I just want to have an interesting frame. So yeah, this one is very jagged, where the other one is much softer over here with a curved line. So I'm just chopping away, almost done. Okay. So now I have a more interesting frame. It's not as big and bulky. Now, I can decorate this further if I want. With some of the dark colors like black and the purple, sometimes you might need white to show up, like the white color pencil. You're welcome to do that. But you can decorate these however you want. I've even had some students who took their scraps where they cut them off and they used them for extra stuff as well, like an extra layer on the side or maybe something down in the corner. If you want to do that, that's fine, okay? But when you are done, I don't want to see these laying all over the table. They either need to go in the trash can on your table or over in the trash can by the door or at the back of the room, okay? So our goal today, get our pictures colored and then put it in a frame, all right? Okay.